So I might have gone a little ham on some purchases. I have bought 4 junkyard vehicles. I'm not exactly sure why I thought this would be a good idea, but I did. My attempt will be to get every single one of these running, maybe driving. But with the condition that some of these are in, I don't know if it'll be entirely possible. So let's bring in the first car and see what we can do with it. So I guess what we can do is just start with this car. This is a Royale Crown from 2009. It's got the 3-cylinder in it, I believe, right now. Yes. And I've never looked at this engine, but it's complete. It's missing a good chunk of parts. Oh, yeah, it is missing a lot of parts. Uh-huh. Alright, so I guess what I'll do now is I'm going to replace every single one of these parts. Okay, I think that's everything. Well, no, actually there is the gas tank. There is no gas tank, but look at that. So, I have a couple concerns with this car. And that is that I believe we have a dead piston or two. Now, a dead piston essentially means that the piston is in the red. Once a part is in the red, the car cannot function unless that part is not needed for the engine to run. And obviously the pistons are very important. That may be warranting this of a rebuild, which I don't believe that it's worthy of, just because it's a crappy junkyard car that I don't really feel like putting any money into. So let's fill up our fluids, I suppose we can do that. So, first I want to run a compression test, and that'll be able to and the pistons, and I believe the block and the head. So that's all our major big ticket parts that I'm really worried about. Go to tools, compression tester. Wow. Oh, I see something. Aha, the thermostat. That would do it. There we go. Now we're ready to go. Perfect. Oh, the crank is bad. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so a bad crankshaft means one thing and one thing only. This warrants an entire rebuild. That's unfortunate, actually. I thought I was going to be able to get this to run. Do I want to put a... You know what, screw it. Let's just put a crank in it, see what it does. Okay, that is the last of it. New crank. It was not as difficult as I would have thought, but it wasn't very easy. I guess now we see if it starts. Oh, yeah, oil would probably help. No way! No way! Oh, yeah, baby! It runs! I mean, all it took was a rebuild, but... Haha, yes! Literally, first rotation of the engine, it started right up. That is awesome. That is totally cool. Alright, so we got one winner. I guess let's pull the second car into the shop. Which one do I want? Well, I guess what I can do is introduce you to the contestants. So we've got this Bolt Reptilia, I believe. Yep. It's got no wheels, but is the most complete out of any of them. Okay, well, kind of complete. Then we've got this Land Rover. I didn't really... Yeah, this one's pushing it. And then there's this van. This was essentially just an impulse buy. Yeah... I don't know if this one will run. Alright, which one do I want to start with? We should start with the one that'll be the easiest, so let's go with the Bolt. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing we did before. I want to be able to get this to the stage of being able to do a compression test. Oh my. It is missing many things. Okay, attempt number 2. I didn't even need started the car yet. Where is the oil fill on this thing? Now I know this engine pretty well. I could rebuild it with my eyes closed, essentially. They're very simple engines, and they make ridiculous horsepower, which is why I like them so much. I also just noticed before I start I'm gonna have to rebuild the fuse panel, which is always my favorite part. Okay. Alright. I think we're ready to go now. Doesn't have a seat in it, but luckily I can do it from this seat. You know what I forgot to do was a compression test. Whoops. Ooh. Oh. The block is bad. along with 2 camshafts, a piston, and I'm assuming the same piston's rings. Oh. It appears getting this one running. Man, that sucks. I liked this thing. It looked cool. Well, so much for that. Back outside it goes. Okay, I guess we'll start on the Land Rover next, which I also don't have very high hopes for. Okay, so I just actually went back and edited the entire first part of the first 2 cars, so the Crown and the Reptilia. And now I've got this, which I'm not excited for. Is this an all-wheel drive? It is. Interesting. Now this is actually a DLC. Yeah. It's fairly new. It's an awful shape. Oh yeah, look at all those reds. That's bad. It's got a 4-cylinder in it. Wow. It makes decent horsepower, though. I love how just owning it, I lose money. That's how you know it's a Land Rover. But that is 33,000. Hold up. 112, that's... I mean, maybe... What about this thing? I mean, this thing doesn't even run, but... Okay, 164, that's better. This thing will have like 1,000,000. 109. I've never seen a vehicle 100,000 miles, honestly. I don't think I have. So this car appears to be yellow with blue doors. Okay. Alright, same thing as last time. I'm just gonna smash stuff together until I get it to run, to get to the point where I can get it to a compression test, until, just to realize that this block is junk. But just by looking at it, it doesn't look bad, so I might be good. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that should be all of the engine components. Now that was actually fairly easy to put together compared to the other engine, just because of the simplicity of how these are built. It might need a muffler system. I don't know if they need that to do the compression test. No. Go. None of these have fuel tanks. I wonder why. Nope. Okay. Let's see what it thinks. Do you like? No. Something is missing. I don't see any thermostats. Oh, you know it probably is. It's probably the muffler, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, though, the engine doesn't need to be able to start to run a compression test, because the whole point of compression test is it's diagnostic. If you're running diagnostic, the engine probably doesn't run. Okay, let's try it now. There we go, it liked it. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that's very bad. Piston, and oh. Well, we put a crank in that other car, but pistons, that's even easier. And since it's, that's no biggie, we can, 2 of the pistons are bad, just replace all of them. I don't like Land Rovers or Range Rovers or whatever they are. I've heard they're unreliable, but I don't think 2 pistons will be too hard. Okay. So, new pistons are in. I also replaced the head. The head was bad, along with one of the cam lobes and a couple other miscellaneous pieces like the engine head cover and the timing cover. I don't really think those are needed, but I wasn't going to find out. Let's put some oil in it and see if I can get it to run. No, it's not really a will it start if I have to pull the head off and pull the piston and replace them. But in this game, you just kind of gotta roll with it. Well, that was easy. Well, I mean, the other car took a crankshaft, and this one took some pistons. So I mean, they're on the same level, but it runs. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Awesome. I guess that means we can start with the van now. The van I'm worried about. It boy, this thing has seen it all. I'm mainly worried because it's an older engine with the push rods in it, which wouldn't be a problem, but the push rods are just a nightmare, and you have to put every single one of the rockers on. It's just so stupid. Or actually, this engine looks different. Oh, it needs a lot. Does it have an oil pan? No. Okay. Okay, this could be everything. This could also not be everything. I think that it is, though. Anything we need at least to run a compression test. Scratch that. Okay, we'll do the exhaust. Yeah, I don't get that, but it will definitely help it run. Okay, attempt number 2. The engine... Oh, fuse panel. Hurt the third. There we go. Okay, we've got a dead piston. Not awful, but not ideal. Bad rings. Another dead piston. Oh, the crank is bad. Okay, so piston, crankshaft. Okay. 2 dead pistons and a crank. What pistons are bad, though? this one was a pain in the butt to rebuild. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. I got the clips on the distributor. Yep. But I got that crank replaced. I got a couple of the pistons replaced. And the piston rings. And hopefully I'll have a running van by the end of this. I'm actually kind of terrified. I've poured a lot of work into this van. Like, I've probably been working on this thing for like half an hour. Please do something. Starts right up. Yeah, off the red line, right off code. I wonder why it starts up so easy. I want to check something. Now, if I go... Yeah, now it says parts are at 59%, which is... Because what it does is it'll collect all the parts, find what all of their percentages are at, and then create a mean. And I guess the average is 59%, and that's plenty to get this thing running. But now I have a running van. It doesn't move, however. But that's all the vehicles. We were able to get 3 out of 4 of them running, which I would say is pretty good. Ironically, the vehicle that was the most complete and I thought was going to run the best didn't run at all. Maybe I'll do an engine swap in this thing. I can just go to the car place, you know, the salon, buy a car with this engine in it, rip out that brand new engine, put it in this thing. I don't really want to because it's kind of cheating, but... I don't know, maybe I'll rebuild that. Probably not, though. If you guys want a part 2, where you want to see all of these driving and maybe in a little better condition, I put some body panels on it, let me know. I had a good bit of fun with this one. If this gets more than 10 views, I'll do 2. How about 10 likes? Yeah, I like that one. I like that one better. So thank you guys for watching if you made it all the way through. I had a lot working on some junk vehicles. And I'll see you guys in the next one.